1917.
Hey, backseaters, you are in front of the law enforcement center. You can see they just opened the door there to let 3 unsheltered parties in. And we're glad they made it in. Maybe you didn't even see that, but I think I might have even been on the wrong camera. But
5674, go ahead.
so, as you know, we attempting to address the terrible cold conditions. Last night, 50-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, the wind chill was unbelievable. But we're staying open tonight too. Just the temperatures are going to be in the single digits over the weekend. We expect it to warm up. We're hoping that the annual warming houses will get open soon. Have some places to go, but in the meantime, we're just helping them out by opening the lobby of our law enforcement center. And by the way, thank you to all of you that brought stuff down today. Holy mackerel. There was just a pile. My special guest here for the next half hour is Dino Guerin, former district fire chief with the St. Paul Fire Department, and he serves as the emergency manager of the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. And you've heard of Dino before probably because he's got a great name, and the East Side kid. You've served on the city council and the county commissioner in the past. What do you say, Dino?
Well, yeah, I've had a pretty good run, and working for you has been a great run. Been here almost 6 years now, and enjoyed every moment of it.
Hey,
Keeps us busy.
We taking them to the building.
Pardon me?
We got the first one.
Okay. Did you tell they can walk too? Probably.
I went in there and explained everything.
How many people were at there? Listen,
About maybe 25, 30.
a little bit less than last night, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for doing that, you guys. Appreciate it. That was the Rev. They went down to the listing house to let people know. Hey, if you need shelter, we're open right there. You're welcome. So, it's the beginning of a long winter, and we have very high numbers of homeless compared to, and unsheltered compared to the past. But Dino, I interrupt you. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just saying it's been a good ride. I've been with you almost 6 years now, and it's every day is something a little bit different, and it's been a good ride. It's been fun.
And Dino did a lot of heavy lifting during COVID, making sure we were prepared with what's called PPE, personal protection equipment. Is that what it stands
there you
for?
go. Yeah, that's
Masks and other equipment, COVID tests.
everything from booties to hats to goggles,
Yeah.
masks, all different kinds of masks.
Yeah, he did a great job keeping us protected and studying the science, and yeah, that was a scary time. Nobody knew where we were headed. Anyhow, if you haven't shared this, we're going to be live for a while. I got the cat team is out as well, and after I drop Dino off, we're going to do some other police work as well. But I did want to ask Dino to ride along. Well, for a couple, Dino and I have known each other for years. Back when did you run for city council?
91.
Yeah, we met back in 91.
Although actually 89, because I lost the first time.
You did.
So 89 was the first time we met.
Gary Olding.
Gary Olding.
Union president Gary Olding set up a meeting with us.
You suggested I get a haircut.
Did I? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
My hair was a little longer.
Well, I
back
want to
then.
say this. This is the most important thing I remember. Your union president wasn't sure you could win. And what did I tell him?
You told him I could.
He told me could. I said anybody can win an election if you work hard enough. You know.
That's good advice. That's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, and you worked very hard.
You go door to door and work hard, and
2 years. But now you're just in a professional mode, working in emergency management and school safety. Dino did some work in school safety as well, school shootings.
yeah, a lot of training. Did a lot of training for it. We didn't have a lot of opportunities to exercise all the skills I learned. Went to the Wisconsin Department of Justice, took all their classes for school shootings and threat assessments, and I had some good mentors that you introduced me to, and we did pretty good for a while there. And then the COVID hit, and I kind of switched gears, and as you mentioned, rolled into that and making sure that the troops were safe and that they had proper equipment to wear.
Well, flexibility to redeploy your skills is critical, which, by the way, that's flexibility to help the homeless and the unsheltered is a critical part of our business as well. Yeah, Dino has a lovely wife, Mary. You want to tell us anything about your childhood romance?
Yeah, well, I'm proud to say we met in high school when she was a sophomore, and we've been married 42 years now. Got a lovely daughter, Christy. She works at HCMC. She works with people that have meth problems. It's a methadone clinic there, so she's got her hands full. She has a client list of about 80 people, and we still reside on the east side.
Yep.
We're in the Battle Creek area, surrounded by lovely parks, and so the east side's changed a little bit over the years, but it's been good to me and good to my family, and so we're still hanging.
Tell us about your dogs.
Yeah, we do have dogs. My wife loves dogs, and I do too. I always end up with small dogs, and I walk in that Battle Creek Park all the time, and I get teased quite a bit because one of the Chihuahuas is 4 pounds.
What's the names of the dogs?
Well, there is Enzo.
Enzo, okay.
And there's Linky and Russell. We just had him put down. He was 18.
Yeah.
And we had him a long time. It's tough to do, but we just had him put down. But when I'm in the park, I get teased a lot. People say, "Hey, fella, that's a big dog you got there for protection." And so I'm used to getting
don't you tell
raised
them,
a little bit.
Don't you tell them I'm a former Golden Gloves champion and I don't need one?
Not no more. I probably would have 15, 20 years ago, but now I just grin and say good morning.
Yeah, there's another guy Dino and I worked with that's getting more active now on budget analytics. Greg Blease used to live over. I don't know, does he still live in the same house?
Yeah, he's on Larry Ho in Battle Creek, and he's still sharp as ever.
Good guy.
Used to be the budget director under George Latimer, and then he moved into working with the council, the city council. He was like their budget analyst.
Yes, that's
very sharp guy, and he's been busy with an organization that's looking at the city finances.
Right.
They're a little worried that taxes have been climbing too much. The TIF districts are getting out of control.
And the infrastructure isn't getting the attention it needs either.
No, they want to keep building, but they can't take care of what they have. And so that's the main concern. They're all really good civic leaders that have taken the role to them.
Good intelligent person.
Yeah.
And there was a threesome there. Latimer was there and I was there. It was Greg Blease, of course, and Greg Haupt, finance, and Peter Hames.
Yeah.
Is Peter Hames still around?
Wow. I saw his name someplace. I can't even remember. I think he's on some foundation, but sure. He even worked for Norm Coleman. Peter stayed on. Pretty sharp guy.
Pam Wheelock, Norm too.
Pam kind of ran everything.
Yeah.
Deputy AP director. Then she went to the Wild. She worked for the U of M. She worked for Red Cross Blue Shield. Really talented lady.
Yeah. Well, Dino was out with us last night trying to help find persons in stress, homeless, unsheltered. And, I think the proper term now is unsheltered, but when we talk to the unsheltered, they always call themselves homeless. But the word homeless has more negative connotations than the word unsheltered. So we try to use the word unsheltered. Half the world's technically homeless because they rent.
Right. Or we all at the mortgage company.
Mortgage company, yeah, or the mortgage company.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Dino was out last night, and as you know, the listing house that we drove by here a minute ago closes between 7:30 and 8, so we opened up the lobby at 7:30 for people to hang out at. But we also had a lot of people called, a lot of you backseaters called on people that were in stress, and we went out and picked them up because it was really cold. I mean, the 50-mile-an-hour wind brought it to minus 20 below. They had a 53-mile-an-hour gust at the airport last night. Can you imagine 53-mile-an-hour gust when it was 6 degrees? So, which brought it to 20 below wind chill. Anyhow, so Dino, why don't you tell the story? You're working. You're at the law enforcement center where we just left, and what? You go ahead and tell the story.
Yeah, we had just picked some folks up at the higher ground because they're getting ready to close, and we brought them to the law enforcement center. And as I was coming in, a young gal that was, well, not homeless, but what was the term?
Unsheltered.
Unsheltered. Thank you. You could see the fear in her eyes, and she was cold, and she was running, yelling that there's someone in trouble, pretty much down by the old Savoys, which is now the listening house, on Lafayette. And I could hear the person yelling and screaming for help, and it was so cold. By the time we got to him, it only took a couple of minutes. We took the van, my partner and I, we drove down there. There was 2 other deputies that just arrived. And within that 2 minutes, he went unconscious. He wasn't even crying for help anymore. So what we did was we covered him. We rolled him over to make sure he had a good airway, and checked his carotid pulse. And he had a pulse. It was very slow. It was at 40. And we called for St. Paul medics, who got there. The St. Paul Fire Department got there really quick. Medic 4 on Payne Avenue was there within 2 minutes. But within that 2 minutes, he went to agonal breaths, which means the brain's not getting enough oxygen.
Now explain that a little bit.
Well, that's bad. That's normally...
Agonal breaths, sometimes people that are overdose go into the agonal breaths too, breathing.
It's
So it means the brain's not getting enough oxygen?
Yes.
Okay.
The body just starts doing that.
I didn't know what was causing that.
And it's kind of like a snoring. It's a gasping. It's more of a gasp and a breathe, and it's a very bad sign. In fact, most people will go into agonal breaths before they die. So I did notice that, and that's a very bad sign. And this gentleman was not dressed for the winter at all. He was very cold. Medics got there.
Hold on a second.
A disoriented male. Looks like he has a laceration to his forehead.
Squads,
and it may be the same patient that had walked away from medics earlier.
Squads are going to Union Gospel Mission on a disoriented person. So while you're telling the story, where was the person? Point out where you were.
Oh, well, it's going to be to the left here. Can we take a left into this lot? I think he was very disoriented, very cold,
in this lot,
and he made it underneath that little canopy there. And for some odd reason, his shoes were there, but they weren't on his feet.
So, just for clarity, underneath his canopy.
Well, on the sidewalk right here. He made it. I think he was going for the canopy. As you can tell, I think you're probably going to point out where the law enforcement center is.
Yeah, we're straight ahead there. You can see us.
Football field and a half.
Block away, yeah.
He didn't make it. When the medics got there, we got him loaded right away. And of course, Regions is just around the corner.
Yeah.
They brought him to Regions, which is a great place to bring somebody that's in trouble. And unfortunately, he cardiac arrested in the ER, and later he died.
So 443, right here. I heard you on the radio calling for the medic. I know they got there really quick.
They did,
and because I heard them, and they loaded and goed him, right?
Yeah, I think part of it too. They recognized me. I said, "Hey, he's got to go. He's in bad shape."
Yeah, you know what you're talking about.
They didn't need to really do too much assessment. We got him in the back, and they took off for Regions, and they were there in less than a minute.
Right.
And they got him into the ER. He was very cold, but what's so ironic about the whole thing, or to me, is I've never seen someone go from crying for help, screaming for help, to unconscious, agonal breaths, and die. It's because it was so cold, and he was dressed, not for winter, that cold weather, I believe, just took over. And I'm not quite sure. He was heading from 7th Street, and I don't know where he was before, but this is where he made it to. But he really went fast. I mean, it was very sad. I've picked people up in the past that had been laying in the snowbank, maybe intoxicated at a college party, and they've been there for an hour, and they survived. Now, they might have had some frostbite, but their heart didn't give out. Yeah. But in this case, it was just so frigid cold, he just didn't last. And, couple of minutes prior, the young man's crying for help, and next thing you know, he's gone.
Yeah, it's crazy, but of course, because he had a cardiac arrest, I suppose if his heart would have held up, maybe his body could have came back, you know? Because people die from different things in those situations, right? Is a heart attack usually the triggering event when you're suffering from exposure? Or do they have other issues?
No, that's probably the most common because, you know, at first your system slows way down and starts pumping blood just to the main organs. But, you know, he had a heart rate of 40, and you really can't keep the organs alive if you get below 40.
Okay.
So, and he was at 40, but once his breathing changed, that was very drastic. He needed to be intubated, which I'm sure they did in the ER, but it was so frigid cold. I mean, you really have to, I know everybody's been in cold weather, but when you're not dressed appropriately and it's 20 below and the wind's blowing at 50, or the wind chill's 20, it's not a good situation. You can't survive very long. Yeah. And he was very close to the LEC. Other people had ran past him, but the people running past him were cold. They were cold trying to get to a warm place. And I'm not sure why there was 2-3 in a row like that, if they just got off a bus or something, but
there's that.
The gal passed him up and just said he's back there because she was very cold herself. And I could hear him yelling for help, because it's only, we said a couple blocks up or a long block up.
Yeah. But that's very sad.
It was, and everything was in place. I mean, we had trained people, we had medical equipment, we knew what we were doing. The medics got here quick. It was just the cold overcame this young guy, and he didn't make it. We were hoping.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I know you've seen dozens and dozens of perished people in your career. How many years were you with the fire department?
31. Started as a firefighter and became a captain for 10 years and then a district chief, and I pretty much had a third of the city. I was the chief on the east side, so 35 to McKnight, Larpenteur to Carver.
Yeah.
Which I really enjoyed because I knew everybody and was able to help a lot of the folks that I knew personally.
You got any unique stories of those? I'm sure you got many, but any that jump out, any major fires that you were involved, your units were involved in that, left you?
I think something that had the most impact.
Well, by the way, you were very close friends with Tim Jones. Tim Jones, when Tim Jones was shot and killed in 94, August of 94.
Yeah.
And so you guys went to school together?
We did. I was, the best man in his wedding, the godfather of his daughter Chelsea, and I was working that day at Fire Station 24 on the east side, White Bear and Suburban.
Yeah.
And I was on a medic run, and I was on the city council then too. I did both, which was a good gig, and I got a phone call. I think I got a text back then saying that a police officer got killed. And so I went back to the station, got in my car, and went down the region. It was Ronnie Ryan.
Right.
Who I knew the father. I did not know Ronnie at the time. He was fairly young. I was down there for a couple hours with Chief Finney and some other folks, and went back to the station. I went back in service, and about 3 hours later, Pam Wheelock called me and said, "Hey, a canine officer just got shot." And my heart dropped because I said, "Tell me his name wasn't Tim Jones." And she said, "Yes, it was Tim Jones."
And just for those of you that are hearing the story the first time, Ronnie Ryan was on a traffic stop in the church at 7th and Arcade, and as he walked back to his car after he got the identification from the driver leaned out the door and shot him in the back, and that triggered a manhunt, and the manhunt involved Timmy Jones, who had a canine and was one of the hardest working police officers we had at the time.
On his day off, he came in.
Off, and the shooter, Baker, ended up taking him and his dog out before the officers could
Copy to 367 Wabsha for
respond.
email.
Eventually did arrest him,
Order,
and he's doing, of course, life terms for shooting and killing 2 police officers.
Yeah, amazing thing is Tim Jones knew where he was. He was in an ice shack in the summertime. He lifted it up and crawled up through one of the ice fishing holes. And there was a lock on the outside door, so you knew you would think nobody'd be inside because there's a lock on the door. But here he lifted it up and
13 to 81.
he was inside there. So yeah, very tragic day.
Corner.
Very sad day for a lot of us.
I'm already right.
And that incident has resulted in policy changes now requiring that 2 people are with the canine officer, because the canine officer has to concentrate on the dog, finding him, and the possibility of getting shot while you're focused on the search. So basically now we always have a couple officers with the canine, and hopefully that never happens again.
Bill Finney was the chief then. He was a strong leader through it. Norm Coleman was the mayor, another strong leader at the time.
Yeah.
You know, they helped us through that difficult time. And the community came together. There was lots of benefits and lots of fundraising, but the community really came together. I mean, it was sad, but it was very nice to see how people all came together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things in law
I got a
enforcement.
homeless guy here I might want to talk to if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Or unsheltered.
Tell him where he can go, or call a ride for him.
Yeah. In fact,
I saw Rev is sitting right out there. I can call Rev. He was sitting in front of the jail.
I got the harpoon. Hey, bud, you need a...
I'm going to AA. How are you?
Good,
Oh, are you
yeah.
going to AA?
Yeah. I stepped out to talk to maybe Kristen. Who
Okay, just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm going to head over to the jail. The other night I was so cold.
Yeah, it's still open,
Okay,
and there's
cool.
people
I'll be
that...
over there after a while. Thank you, gentlemen.
You don't need a ride, though.
Thank you. No, sir.
All right, you have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
He was there the other night, you said.
Yeah, he was.
He knew about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He said he's at an AA meeting there at the church.
Oh, well, he's at a good place.
Yeah,
He just came out to smoke, I think.
I think he did.
He looked pretty cold, though.
He did. Didn't have a hat on.
No.
Just sunglasses.
Well, that's what threw me. I thought that poor guy's got to get inside, but I guess...
Anyhow, I was going to say that it's one of those events where you remember right where you were. I mean, obviously it was early in the morning. I got called in, so I was a lieutenant in the juvenile unit then and worked part of the perimeter. But more than that, I remember exactly where I was sitting in. But Ronnie Ryan's funeral was that presentation.
Yes.
And then, of course, Tim Jones was at the cathedral. But I remember where I was sitting for both of those. And very emotional. But I want to tell a side story in that, because you were there. You were part of the what do you call that? Procession.
Yeah.
For Ronnie Ryan. And, I got pictures of that, of you with this dog. But,
well, on that note, it was a very tough decision for me. I was with all police officers. It was all police officers that were carrying Tim Jones' casket.
Right.
I was the only firefighter. And a lot of firefighters asked, why didn't you wear your Class A firefighter uniform?
Well,
and I thought about it, and I just thought I didn't want to, it was a police deal, it was a police thing, and Nip was a cop, and so I went with the suit and tie. Sounds kind of silly, but it was a big decision, and there was a lot of folks that thought I should have worn my...
I think that was the right decision.
I do, too.
I think that was right.
Yeah.
Looking back at it, it would look strange. Like it's your friendship that was there before you were a firefighter. But obviously that procession was... that was one of the most meaningful events in my life, being in that procession, because the people of St. Paul in 1994 came out in droves, and of all criminals were out there. I mean, back then we had a relationship with the other element that was respectful. Susie Beeler was on the procession, and of course that was years ago, before she had spent as many years in her environment that she has, but she was still Susie, and she was bawling, crying as we were driving by. I remember on the right side of the road as we went up Marion there, or Rice Street as we went up Rice Street, and it just struck me that, you know, we have supporters out there, you know,
We did.
in the community. So
Well, they were lined up on the streets for miles. It was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And Tim Jones traveled a lot with he was a top canine police officer and a trainer, and he had a lot of
not to
support.
mention an excellent softball player.
Yeah.
Because I
He was
played-
he was a great athlete,
Yeah.
you know, pretty tough kid, and he was in good shape. And of course, you know, Ronnie Ryan's dad was a legend, very well liked in St. Paul.
And his son, Ronnie Ryan Jr., had the same personality, just outgoing, kind, friendly, and, you know, just a wonderful kid. When I was in the juvenile unit as a commander, he would come in and he was shuttling cars when he was before he was a police officer, working for us like an intern or CSO.
Yeah, interesting. You know, when Tim Jones came on the police department, you'll remember he wasn't old enough to carry a gun, so he had to work inside for the first year or so when Bill McCutcheon was the chief. I believe he was probably 20. He had to be 21 to carry a gun.
Right.
So, kind of interesting.
And you mentioned his daughter Chelsea, but of course at the Royal Canadian Mounted Police came down from Canada to be at his funeral, and one of the images that'll always be in our brains is his son Matt riding on the horse at the funeral. You remember?
Yeah, it was spectacular. Yes.
That's spectacular. I got goosebumps thinking about it.
I see it. I have that picture.
Now, of course, his son is a St. Paul police officer.
Yes, he
And
is.
doing an amazing job. So
Yeah, he is doing a good job.
great legacy.
And you know, ironically, he looks a lot like Nip.
Yeah.
He does. I can see a lot of it in him too. So he's doing well. I'm glad to hear that and see that.
Now, Dino just referred to him as Nip, which is probably not politically correct any longer. But, you know, Tim Jones had some
Japanese, yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah.
And he referred to himself as that.
Well, he did.
He did that. That's why his close friends called him that, because it was his own reference to himself.
Yeah, good point. You know, today that actually sounds odd and out of place. And back in high school, that was just his nickname. And I don't know if anyone would know who Tim Jones so much was back then. You know,
Here comes a fire rig. Where are they going? Got any idea?
I do. I got to turn my phone on.
Where are they going?
I had my phone off because I didn't want it to ring, but I have an app for all fire calls and EMS calls in Ramsey County, being your emergency management guy. So I'll be able to tell you in a second.
Oh, hi guys! What's going on? Oh, they're talking to the homeless guy.
Oh. Well, we know what they're doing now.
People think you're having a problem out here, so maybe find a better place.
You know, you can bring him to our lobby. Yeah, or have the medics bring. You can bring him to our.
Fletcher, you want to get the cold cab over here for him?
Hey, I can get somebody here.
Yeah.
Hey, Dino.
How you doing, Ted? Nice to see you.
Yeah, we can get somebody. Will he take the ride?
Yeah, he wants it. Yep.
Okay,
So you want us to stick with him then?
we'll stay.
Okay.
You guys
Yeah.
go. We'll get him a ride.
All right, it's cool. Sounds good.
Thank you.
They're calling us to get you a ride to a place where you can stay.
Yeah, I got it. So
Okay.
this is call number 2024. We have a homeless person that needs a ride back to the LAC. We're by the XL Center. We're on 7th Street and West 5th Street. I'm with the sheriff.
Stay warm for a little bit. But look at that firefighter. He even got a sweatshirt on.
Cover yourself back up, though.
Stay warm until we get a ride over here.
What's up, man? Good. See you every so often, man. Well, I know. Walking the dogs.
All right, guys. Okay, all right. All right, Neil. Well, there you have it.
Oh, some young guys I used to supervise some years back.
Fire department out here checking a homeless guy, and we're gonna get him picked up.
5-1, did you say it was for the
Who's
transport
coming?
at 422 Dorothy Day?
Who's coming?
Yes, I have 5.
Is the Rev coming?
Cover that 5 passengers.
I can call the
No,
Rev.
it can't be the Rev.
You don't think?
We'll grab the rest over at Dorothy Day.
All right, someone's going to Dorothy Day.
Hey Siri, call Rev Daryl Spence.
Sounds good.
Just so you know, he's got a full sleeping bag. He's warm right now, folks. He's totally covered.
Yeah.
So it's not as if we're leaving him out in the cold. And so you got the Rev's phone?
That's Chino. Hey, Chino.
Are you available to pick a guy?
We're on
Are you available
5th
to
and
pick a guy
7th
up?
Street by the XL.
You do.
Chino's en route.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Chino,
The Rev had 5.
yeah, I heard that on the radio. Chino Lee's en route. He said he'd be here in about a minute. I don't know if he's with somebody, but guess that's probably a good reason to leave my cell phone on. I didn't want it to ring unexpectedly while
Well,
we're
that's okay.
chatting.
This is real life. This
Yeah.
is real life.
No, I know. Yeah.
Pretty funny. We asked, where's that fire rig going? And they're going,
That was
"Well,
ironic. It
well,
was right there. Yeah. You know, and the reality is, I didn't see him because he's covered.
Yeah,
And
you
then, you know-
can't tell there's a person underneath that sleeping bag.
Yeah. Now, you know that we put out a fire at Assumption Church last night, right? Did you hear that call?
No.
Well, next to it, the front steps of the church,
Yeah.
there was a fire. The flames were about 8 feet high. So me and my partner stopped. Of course, I called for St. Paul Fire and Police.
Yeah.
And there was a unsheltered individual standing around the fire warming up.
Yeah.
But he threw plastic on the fire, and it got too big
Oh,
and too out of hand.
Jesus.
In fact, we should...
You got somebody with you or not? We got Maxine or waiting for? I got a Maxine. All right, hey, sir, that's it. I'm gonna pull up a little further. I'm gonna pull up so you don't. I'm gonna pull up so you don't have to walk. Pull your car a little further forward.
Yeah, the
Pull up a little further so we don't gotta have him walk so far.
If you get to the important place, you can go through all your stuff and you'll find your shoes and whatever you need.
Still traveling southbound past Randolph, speed 65, light traffic. Yeah, man, 35. On my way.
We are trying to get him up here. They're en route. Information is squad states asking for assistance and ambulance to come from them on LTAC 1 southbound 35 via Victoria. 5 Delta Bravo 690. It's an Infinity sedan, white color. Again, they're on LTAC 1. Thank you.
What's the reason for the pursuit?
Traffic, I believe, at this point.
It sounds like they're just following us go. Slow to stop. They're not pushing on the pursuit yet.
East on 7th.
272 state just advised us that they are currently in pursuit continuing southbound. They are going on LTAC 1.
You know that? Looks like they're on 7th Street.
So you're maybe get some help when you get there and come out and dump all the stuff in.
Pulling into the speedway. Coming to a stop.
44, 55 myself.
Copy. At the speedway, coming to a stop.
what?
Well, I don't think he would have made it too much long. He wouldn't have made it too much longer.
No, I'm just convinced this incident here, this has been a debate internally whether we continue this as it warms up. But this incident here convinces me that we can't let this happen.
No, I'm glad he picked that spot to rest because we could spot him. Now, someone obviously saw him and called because St. Paul Fire sent him.
People called. Good. Thank you, whoever called.
Yeah.
272 sounds like stage fighting with one at the speedway.
I've seen him before,
Which
too.
speedway?
Copy, stage fighting with one at the speedway.
I'm assuming it's the speedway down here. Let's turn this on. I got to stay on this channel.
Copy, 7 to 35.
Oh, that's a different speedway.
Yeah, that's out 7th and 35. I remember that one. That used to be an SA.
You got your seatbelt thing on there?
No. Thanks for reminding me, though.
Well, you got to.
Your emergency management guy should be wearing that. Well, they're busy.
5 Metro, they have them detained.
Both of the vans are tied up right now.
Yeah.
I wonder if...
Copy, one detained. Copy, state has one detained.
Whew. I mean, folks, it's cold. It's only, 15 degrees here, but there is a wind still. When I say only, it's 15 degrees. And, of course, that's Fahrenheit, which means it's below 32 freezing is at 32 Fahrenheit. And but there is a wind out there too. It's only about a 10-mile-an-hour wind, but that's all it takes to get some bite on you there, right?
I don't understand that. That's the fourth unsheltered person I picked up that didn't have shoes on. He has them. He took them off.
I don't know. Maybe you can.
Copy, squad can cancel it around us.
Yeah, he
move
runs.
them around more when you're in your sleeping bag.
Yeah, 161,
I don't know.
I don't like sleeping with shoes or socks on.
Well, I understand that, but you're not, sleeping in that median. But when he got up to get to the squad car, he said, "My feet are cold," and I looked down, and he just had socks on. Well, he'll get warmed up and organized, get something to eat.
No weapons seen, but he's known to carry knives and has pulled a knife on security.
It almost seems that we're busier picking up the unsheltered folks between 7 and 9 than we are later. At least the last couple of days have been that way.
Well, they kick them out of listing house at 8 or 7:30, so a lot of them know they can't go in there after that. But
Metro 511.
Well, we talked a little bit about, higher grounds, they do a great job, but they still...
I should drive by there, okay? We should talk about the great work they do. Really a Catholic Charities initiative. Remember the old days of Dick Long?
We'll continue to
I do.
Dick,
From the Cadillac.
Dick Long helped. He was a big contributor to help Dorothy Day. And
1956.
Yeah, he was also on the airport commission
yeah.
many years ago. Yeah, he was a good man. Yeah, I missed not seeing him around. Yeah, Dick Long. How about Don Del Fiacco?
Oh, yeah.
He's interested
Classic.
Yeah.
I'll be clearing the patch with LTAC 1 and resuming
Well,
traffic at 1950.
Urusso's. I've started hanging out at Urusso's again.
Sure.
Since Joe Keller is hanging out with me, so
Good spot.
yeah.
Freddie's there most of the
Freddie's
time.
still there.
Yeah. Used to be quite the crowd. In my heyday, when I was running for political office, I'd have lunch with Matt Morelli and Tony Correa.
Well, didn't Del Fiacco eat there regularly too? Or
Oh, sure.
where did that Italian mafia eat at? Where was their favorite place?
Oh, I'd say Urusso's, Gino's, or Mancini.
Yes.
Or Mangini's.
Yeah.
And Mancini's. But
Yeah.
Dick Mangini owned that hall and restaurant. He was pretty popular. There was just a whole group of those guys. Well, Del Fiacco was my campaign manager. He worked for the Pioneer Press at the time. So
Great writer too.
He was a good writer.
Yeah.
He was talented. He did a lot of my brochures for me and made me look really smart. He was a great writer. And he lived on Burr Street between Tedesco and Minnehaha.
Yeah, a lot of good people in that area. Mike Syrian
Yeah.
used to go to church down there. That was the old, what was the church down there? Not
Oh,
Assumption, but
No, it's
They moved out to Woodbury now.
Yeah, it is. Father Pingator was the priest there, St. Ambrose.
St. Ambrose.
Yeah.
St. Ambrose.
Yeah. Across the street was an old Italian grocery store called Corman's. Phil Corman owned it and ran it.
And we're about to drive by Higher Ground, which is an amazing facility and amazing that serve the unsheltered. They have several different options here. This is, you can see the Catholic Charities logo there, but people can get apartments here if they're consistently have some, good behavior. They can also get food here on a daily basis. They serve a lot of people food.
Yeah, and we typically pick the people up here.
Yeah.
That entrance there.
There's two. I'm going to show you the right here. The right here is the Opportunity Center, I think, which they have. And they'll bring counselors and people here. You can see it's a big open space over there. It looks like they're just closing up, huh?
Right. Now they come over here for, it's like a little cafeteria. They can sit there and warm up, get something to drink.
So this right, still sort of called the Dorothy Day. So it used to be Dorothy Day, and now it's kind of all merged into Higher Grounds.
Right.
See, this is Dorothy Day Road we're on right here.
Sure.
Dorothy Day has its own road. And then over here in the lobby, a lot of times they'll shelter people in really cold weather.
Yeah, a little lack of planning, though. We're not able to drive up to the door when people have carts and wheelchairs and stuff.
Yeah.
The closest we can get is here, and then we, have to.
Does it look like there's people in there?
Oh, there's definitely people. Yes,
No, but I mean
not
in
as
the lobby. Yeah, there's a fair amount.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing, is that everybody's trying to help out by sheltering people as long as they can. And Higher Ground has Chris Michaels used to be the head person here, and I really, really enjoyed working with her over the years. But she now works for the city of St. Paul and does a great job there as well. But
they do a great job. It's a tough job. A lot of the folks, have issues, and it's tough. You have to really be a patient person to work in this industry.
Very tough. Very tough. Very, very
It's
tough.
easy to get impatient. They have so many belongings that when you want to give them a ride, it literally takes you 10, 12 minutes to get all their stuff gathered.
This morning when we were giving people rides over to Union Gospel and Dorothy Day this morning, I crashed for a few hours on my couch in my office, which is why I got that little 6-foot couch, so I can
carry it up.
sleep there when necessary. But in the morning, it's between 6 and 7, a number of some of the social service providers came down, and Radius Health. There were some nurses that came there.
Nice.
It was just, I'm trying to think of the other service provider. Meridian Health was there.
Okay.
Nice. Very tough, right?
It is.
Takes time. It takes time. It's like raising a family. It just takes time. So there are great people doing great work out there.
Well,
And this eating restaurant here, it's got the nickname of the Apostle,
it does.
and which ties into Catholic Charities, of course, the
The
Apostles.
food's great there. I've ate there. It's very nice. Yeah, interesting name, though.
Hang on a minute. Joe, how are you? Good. I'm still a little tied up for a little bit longer, but I can call you in a little bit. Bye bye.
Joe Keller?
Hot Dog Joe Keller.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, we're talking, though. The thing is, you really have to be a special person with patience.
Yeah.
If you're not a patient person, you won't make it working with.
Well, your daughter
shelter.
does a lot of this.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris,
Most of them
have addiction, right?
No. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. unsheltered and hit rock bottom. And
yeah, it's amazing. We might drive by the campsite again. For those of you that weren't watching yesterday, there are several large campsites.
I think those guys are all okay.
I think they had a little liquor with them, but
Yeah.
it's cold enough. We're going to let that one go tonight. And McGovern's, of course, the 4th floor spiral started on fire. Apparently, it didn't keep him from reopening, though.
No, a car hit
On the other side of the freeway, up on Ramsey, there hit
and a power line fell, I guess, on the roof.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Crazy.
Well, back to Assumption. So he put a lot of plastic on that fire, and it got fairly big, and they have some very decorative steps, and they got charred pretty bad. And interesting, the guy had some mental health issues, and we said, well, if you behave yourself, we'll take you back to a warm place to sleep. And St. Paul police ran a background on him, and he had warrants, so he went to jail instead.
1601.
Okay, then. Well, lesson learned, don't start a fight. I heard you had one guy that wasn't very kind when you gave him a ride.
Yeah, one out of all the people that we transported really isn't bad.
Right.
But yeah, we had one that just, wasn't very kind.
We only had one that came in. Maybe it was, you took him home, but we had one that used a few Effenheimers on us,
No.
But it wasn't until he was leaving, and it was all a function of mental illness, so we just rode with it.
Right.
But I would say the 90 people were there, they were all well behaved, and
Well, 90 is only part of the story. We had folks that we picked up that were cold, that needed a ride to a sister's or mom's. We went to the Griggs High Rise, and we went to 1300 Wilson, and
you did.
we went to 1000 Edgerton. We had folks that had places to go, they just couldn't get there.
Interesting.
And they said, I can stay with my sister tonight, or a relative. So we did give a fair amount of people rides to other facilities.
That's good for
But they
me.
really weren't facilities.
That's good for me to know, because I did not know that.
Yeah, we sure
I just
did.
saw the numbers when I was there.
Yeah. No, if they had a place to go, that would be we'd certainly bring them there.
Yeah.
But it took us out of service a little bit more, going from, Griggs High Rise to Edgerton High Rise to Wilson, but we got them off the street. I think almost everybody that we offered a ride to took it, except maybe just one person, and the bus was right behind us, so they took the MTC bus.
Fair number of people out tonight for Thursday, huh?
There is a lot, but this is kind of a lively area, this West 7th Street.
Yeah. Well, I think it was good they moved the listing house off here. I never thought it was a good fit. It's much better over at Savoy, and frankly, being close to our building is better. This is the location. It used to be right here, the Freedom House.
Freedom House, there it is.
And then, of course, they had a longer way to go to get to shelter downtown, and plus they weren't always well received by some of the restaurateurs, so I think
it wasn't a good fit.
No, I think it's a better fit now. It's much better fit. Much better.
Where did they move to?
Savoy, that's the corner.
Oh, that's the listing house.
Yeah,
that's the same
basically.
folks.
They can be there from noon to 8.
Okay, because that was called the Freedom House.
Right.
That's the listing. I didn't make that connection,
Right.
but okay. And they're adding on to the
They're
old Savoys.
expanding.
Yeah.
They're going to put showers in there. Subway, I think, closed up there, and they got space next door there. And it's. We were in there the other night. They do a really nice job. They have a full-service kitchen that they can feed people, and
We got almost like a little hallway or skyway going to the next building, right?
I didn't walk through it, but I talked to the guy, saw where it's boarded up. He said they're going to end up having more space and showers, because really a decent way to help people is to let them have a shower once in a while, right?
Oh yeah, I felt bad. A few people said, "Hey, where are you bringing us? Is there, you have something to eat?" I said, "Yeah, we got food, something to drink. Yeah, we got water, we got milk." "Oh, great. You got a bathroom?" "Yep, got separate bathroom. Do you have a shower?" "No, I don't have. We don't have any showers." So
Yeah.
it did come up a couple of times.
Right. Right. No, my wife was saying that too. That really needs to be a priority to everybody get a shower every few days.
Yeah.
There's the XL Energy Center on our right there. Home of the Minnesota Wild. They don't have a game tonight, right? Or they played yesterday.
I don't know. Saturday, I'm going to that late show at CHS Field.
Okay.
Have you been to it?
I haven't, well, not this year, but I've been in the past.
It's
but,
called The Glow or something?
It is, and it's run by Randy Levy, who I know. Actually, him and his brother and I went to college together at Hamlin University. And he actually set the glow up at the state fair when the year we ran the state fair.
Oh, I think I remember that. Yeah, I didn't go.
Up, but this is a little, I've seen it down here. So yeah, be sure to get down to see the glow at the CHS Stadium.
I'm going Saturday at 5. Any good recommendations on where to go to eat?
Well,
something different?
Something different to the Tina probably a few times, right?
A few times, sure.
Yeah.
By the way, Tina McNamara came on with Ronnie Ryan Jr.
Oh yeah. That's
And you ended up hiring her as an undersheriff.
Yep.
Small world.
Let me see, what else?
Mickey's gave out free food to the homeless, the unsheltered the other day. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't, but thank you, Mickey.
Yes, they did.
Thank you. I like a guy that pays attention to the news.
Yeah.
So, it's helpful. Very helpful.
The only difference is I don't have a newspaper in my hand. I got an iPad. Read it online.
Yeah, you got to have a subscription.
I do.
Okay, good. But do they ask you to enter your password every month?
Yeah, they do.
Why can't they remember the password for you?
I think they want to make sure it's you, that you don't give it to other people.
I don't know about that, because then I forget the password, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then I got to reset the password.
Yeah, I do.
We got a safe downtown, though. I mean, the truth is, people aren't lurking around preying on people down here. You know?
No, it's been good. I mean, we have the kind of the upper hub with the St. Paul Hotel and Kincaid's and Pazluna, and then we got the lower with Mears Park.
I
And
wonder what the buses are doing here. Coaches. Interesting. I am going to go straight instead here as soon as the light changes. Because we should drive by Rice Park once, right?
yeah,
Right?
absolutely. This time of year.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll see if they're starting to build for the Winter Carnival yet.
St. Paul Hotel here is amazing facility.
Well, they're all booked on Christmas Eve. I checked last week to see where we're might go have dinner. And
Booked
everybody
for the rooms or for the
restaurant. St. Paul Hotel was booked. Kincaid's was booked.
Really?
Lake Elmo was booked.
Oh, on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
A lot of people go out on Christmas Eve, huh?
Yeah, we celebrate with all the family on Christmas Day. We all bring stuff, but Christmas Eve we're on our own.
Oh, okay.
And so we typically go out someplace nice to eat, but the porterhouse was full.
Yeah.
Couldn't get anywhere.
So, this is Rice Park here. This is Rice Park here. We're going to put our side camera on. I think you can see how that looks pretty good in this picture right here, Dean. Or is that one there, our side camera?
Yeah, it does look nice.
Yeah.
Yep, I see it now. I didn't catch it before. Yeah, it looks good. What's with all the buses, you think? Maybe there was a game or something. I don't know.
2165.
Oh, they've done a nice job
Something
down
going
here.
on here. Yeah.
2165.
Yeah. Very nice. Rice Park, folks.
Yeah, it looks good.
Beautiful.
Do you know where the ice rink's going to go this year?
Well, if they put it in, it'll be in that same spot, won't it? On the other side? On the other side of the park?
It's moved a few times.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I do know that the Winter Carnival Grand Old Day Parade is going to move up on Grand Avenue this year rather than being downtown.
I like it. I think it's a good move. I think the businesses will appreciate it.
Torchlight will still be down here, concluding at the St. Paul Library, where the dethroning of King Boreas takes place by Vulcanus. Right there is the Landmark Center.
At one time, it was scheduled for demolition.
Vic Tedesco always took credit for stopping it.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
He was the Parks Commissioner back then.
Yes, he was. Yeah. I knew his assistant was a Richie. I'm trying to think of his
I had
first
the
name.
pleasure of working with him.
Yeah, I knew Vic well.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, they named the street after him, Tedesco Street. Some folks thought it should be Morelli at the time, but I was in office around that time.
Well, anyhow, the St. Paul Hotel with the lights across the street, great place to stop down and have dinner, folks. And I have very fond memories of the St. Paul Hotel.
You had a beautiful wedding there.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything.
I was there.
Yeah.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah. It's a good thing my father-in-law had a lot of money.
I don't know. I think I racked up a pretty good bill on you. It was an open bar. You know, it was hard to pass up. I think Gary Olding and I and Joe Miller might have had a couple on you.
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did. Oh. That was a great day for me. I don't think my wife's listening, but I don't think she even knew I was going live, but one of the greatest days of my life. Do you remember me giving my speech where I said, am I a lucky guy or what?
I do.
Am I a lucky guy or what? Green line.
Really not a lot of folks. Now, what time does the green light line stop now?
Like 1 or 2 usually.
Okay, because it used to go 24/7, right?
Yeah, way back.
Yeah.
No way on it.
But it was nice for people to warm up.
Yeah, and that was the thing when they stopped doing that. But they, they want to be able to clean the cars, so.
Yeah, I understand.
It's part of our homeless dilemma is that a lot of the unsheltered do use the trains, which,
Yeah.
isn't a bad system for us. Boy, we got socks, we got hats, we got so much stuff brought to us. Just amazing. And I don't know, Chad, I don't know if you and your wife are listening, but those hats that you brought, those 40 hats that your father, I forget his name, start with a W, I want to say Wendell, but that you guys brought down, we did hand out yesterday. In fact, the story that Jay Coles did, you can see the woman holding 4 of your hats, hand-knit hats that you handed out, and thank you. So all 40 of those hats have been put in the hands of people that are desperately cold. It's pretty cool.
Well, some folks are really in drastic need of winter clothing. They waited to the last minute, and luckily we were able to give them some jackets and hats and stuff.
Yeah.
And you heard we had one person with no shoes.
Yeah.
What happened there?
This is right ahead of us. There is CHS Field and the glow. You can see it's better. It gets better every year. All the lights there, pretty cool, right?
It is. I'll be here Saturday at 5. Yeah, a lot of activity in there. They have a slide in there too for the kids or adults.
Oh, they're playing Celine Dion. Circle of Life. Isn't that your sings that?
Nice.
Used to be the key song for Disney's Epcot. I got great memories of that. Oh, looks like they got a warming restaurant up above there. I've never been up there.
Oh.
Look at that.
They do, yeah.
Have you been up there? I've never been up there before.
You know,
Hey guys!
Hey, Pat, how are you doing?
How's it going?
Good.
No, I've never been up there. I go to the games, the Saints games, but we sit outside, of course. So.
Must
Selling
be
trees.
losing my stature. That guy called me Pat.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that they sell Christmas trees at the farmer's market. Did you see that?
I didn't know that either, but we're going to go around there.
There's
But
a lot of trees there.
First,
Someone's
I'm
looking for a tree.
I'm just going to give a little. Every night they clean these Green Line trains in this building right here, right in front of us.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and I've been inside. It's kind of a cool operation. You come in the backside, but you see the tracks in front of us?
I do.
So after they finish their route, they come right in here. And then they start cleaning them. And it's quite the operation to clean trains.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Makes sense, though. They stay in the tracks.
Yeah. It's,
Never thought about it, I guess.
well, they want them to look clean in the morning. Those guys do hard work in there because it's not simple work. So if you follow these tracks from the cleaning station there on Broadway, you'll see the end of the line technically for people to get off is right here in front of the Union Depot.
Yep, makes sense.
And the Union Depot is connected to the trains that go down, Amtrak trains. This is the concept here, is that
You know what that 1881 stands for, right? On that sign?
which sign?
Union Depot underneath says 1881.
Is that when they built it?
Well,
I don't know.
it's a good guess. Well,
I don't know.
it's a good guess, but it's
I
the
don't
name.
know.
There's a restaurant in there. Lake Elmo put in a restaurant called 1881. That's
Really?
when it was built. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if you knew that or not, but they
didn't know
just
that.
went in.
I know the first restaurant that was put in here? Do you remember?
Crystals.
I don't
Something
know.
like that. A Greek place?
Well, I was on the city council in 1982.
Oh, you're going way back.
82. Leanne Chins.
Yes, it was. You're right.
Leanne,
Yeah,
George
good memory.
Latimer opened the first Leanne Chins in the metro area right here.
Ate there many times. Leanne Chins. Then it became a
I don't know
Greek
what-
place.
I don't know what it became, but
yeah.
like I said, across the street is the Amtrak Union Depot. You can walk across. We did house Unsheltered here once 4 years ago when the polar vortex hit. Well, not in the train station, but up here in the lobby of the Union Depot.
Yep.
So if we ever have such, back then we had like the natural temperature was 20 below. Can you imagine? I mean, that was crazy. Should I get you back for your appointment?
Yeah, sure. I know you got. You're catching up with the cat team.
No,
is that-
I mean, I figured, you said you got a meeting you got to be at, so
Well,
I want to make sure I'm respectful of that. You're doing a great job on Live on Patrol. I'm sure the people are loving you.
I've been waiting to be asked to be on here. It's taken quite a while, so I'm honored to be here.
Well, we can go another half hour. You want to go another half hour? now?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
good.
you might buckle up then, buddy, because you never know.
We have a call pending at 2110 Castle Avenue.
We're going to take Dino on some.
There's a 69-year-old male, unresponsive, not conscious.
No, Mears Park is not as. No, Mears Park is not as spectacular as Rice. I mean, it just doesn't stand out as much.
No.
Don't get me wrong; it's still nice, but
In the summertime, it's a nice park. You got a little stream in there.
you know why it's called Mears Park?
Oh, well, I do know this, but tell me.
Norman Mears
Yes.
owned Buckby Mears across the
That's what
street.
it was, yes. I know it's after a guy named Beers. I can't remember
Yeah,
what
he
owned.
lived right across the street. They had a company there.
People on Live on Patrol, they love that history, so anything else you got, like...
Yeah, I've been around a while.
Well, I know you
Yeah.
have. I know you have. The problem for you is a third of your stories you can't tell.
That's funny. How about Davy Brooks? He owned a lot of these buildings in Lower Town. Is he still around?
Still does, and his daughter runs them still. And
Okay.
he's still got his cigar place behind this building here.
Great guy.
Yeah. Herbie Brooks' brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Herbie, of course, was the coach of the 1980 gold medal Olympic team.
Yeah. Louis Cotroneo and Del Fiacco, those guys got Herbie to sponsor a fundraiser for me at the Minnehaha Tavern when I first ran, and we packed them in pretty good.
Oh,
But you know, with Herb as the host, and I got pictures of me and him with my family and stuff. So got to cherish that.
Yeah. Yeah, quality people. Of course, Louis Cotroneo, one of the best.
Yeah.
Johnson High School coach.
Yep.
Worked with Rube Gustafson before he became the coach. And then, of course, Moose Younghans.
Yeah, Moose is a legend. Well, and Louis was with the schools for years, of course, a teacher and assistant principal, and then he went to work for Chris Nicosia.
He did as his aide, and after Chris lost and left, Louis got a job with Public Works.
Yeah, and I think he ran that year, if you don't mind me mentioning.
Ran for?
I think he ran for mayor that year and beat Nicosia. It was you and Scheibel at the time.
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah. Long time ago. But,
I have a short memory on politics.
Well, you took, Chris ended up not making the primary. You came through with Jim.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Louis wasn't going to be his aide
It was
anymore.
the best thing that ever happened, because then I went on to become the sheriff later on, see?
I think it worked out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder where they're going, Chief.
Well, and you know, it was a better fit for you.
Yeah, where's the fire rigs going?
Well, I can find that out easy enough.
In case you're wondering, we have former District Fire Chief Dino Guerin riding with me today. He's also I hired him to be our Sheriff's Department Emergency Manager of he's done an amazing job, and we're patrolling over the east side where he graduated from Harding High School. I just saw a 1973 Harding High School picture posted online.
I did too.
Yeah.
I saw the same one. Well, we got a smoke investigation at 348 Mariah.
Oh, that's it.
So it's just right up here. Someone called in and said there's an odor of smoke.
Let's go check it out.
So they send all the troops. They send a chief, three engines, a ladder truck, and a rescue squad. Just in case, because we can't take the chance at something big.
I like having you there. You can help us out, figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Someone called in an odor of smoke. Sometimes it's a big deal, and sometimes it's just burnt food. And I will admit, a lot of times it ends up being a burnt pizza or something, but everyone's...
Firefighters in action here?
But you normally can tell pulling up if you see smoke billowing out, which I don't see.
Which rigs are here?
Well, that's probably... Well, Engine 4, Squad 1.
Oh, 4 is here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike Smith could be on duty today.
It's like they're about to break in there.
No, it's the A shifts on duty. I already met some firemen that were... there should be a key box there that we have a key to.
Okay.
And then we'll have keys for inside and the outside, and they're going through the key box. Right now we have one master key that opens up key boxes throughout the entire city. And it's a big deal if someone loses it. So they keep pretty good track of them.
Is he calling for something there?
You know, I think he's just kind of horsing around.
Nah, here comes the chief, right?
Yeah, that's the chief. Chief 3.
Chief 3, here we go, the chief's way.
Yeah, he won't care.
Huh?
Case number is 226982.
You should get out and tell him you'll take it from here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, I don't. No, I just want to see if it's one of my...
He'll pull up. Does he always park that far away? In case you need another rig in here?
Yeah, I don't know.
It says keep back 500 feet.
Yeah. I think he's waiting to get cleared. That's what's going to happen. Maybe somebody wants to get through. I don't know.
No longer seen. My brother 32 will go to the cop over at 483 Michigan Street, and that would be in Central District.
Copy 483 Michigan.
don't know why he wants to get in front. He don't need to be in front anyway. Did you catch the name of Chief 3?
No, I didn't, but he wanted to make sure we would get out of the way for his rig, and I said, well, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, because typically the chief doesn't care if they're in front.
We don't even need to get out of the way. We just drive right by.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't think they got anything going on here anyway. I mean, I don't see any smoke. I don't smell anything. Let me see who this is. Oh, yeah, I suppose you don't want to.
Huh?
Yeah, I was going to see who that was. I know most of them. If they're a chief, they've been around. You got to have at least 15 years on to take the test to be a district chief. So typically the higher ranking guys I know, because they've been around a while.
Oh, we got a 5th rig here.
Yeah, they came off the freeway. That's 24s. So they were on White Bear or 94. They jumped on the freeway and they get off at Kellogg, and that's why they're coming back this way. And they'll all be going back into service pretty quick.
It didn't look like there was any serious smoke.
I didn't smell anything or see anything. But they take them all serious, just in case, you know how that is.
Yeah.
Fire department has 3 shifts, A, B, and C, and today's the A shift working. So I recognize those other gentlemen when we found the unsheltered individual. They're A shifters. Okay. Yeah, they're still there.
Well, there's so many ways that smoke can be generated too. That's
No.
amazing.
The police was Eastern District was back there, right? Years ago.
Well, there was the force unit was up here. Don't you remember the force unit?
I thought they were back there for a while, the Eastern District, before they built up here in
Well,
Minnehaha.
it was on. Remember the whole fire station way up there on Flandreau and 7th? It was there.
Yeah. Oh, sure. That's actually old
But
24.
you might be right about this before they built it over there.
Yeah.
I didn't work this district. I was over in the west sector.
Well, there was a big fight between Ward 6 and Ward 7 because everybody wanted it in their district, for safety. And if you notice, they put it on Minnehaha, which is a dividing line for Ward 7 and Ward 6
Yeah.
for city. So that way it was equally split. But it seemed to be at the time a big asset if you could have it in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But speaking of something that's genius, and you came up with it, when they were building, the jail and the police department and the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office and all that, and people were calling it a jail. Nobody wanted it. And they said, why do we have to have a jail in our backyard? And people were calling the elected officials, the mayors, city council, county commissioners, we don't want it. And the sheriff, Bob Fletcher, called it a law enforcement center. And then everybody wanted it. They said, we want it in our backyard because it's an asset. Just simply changing the name changed people's mind.
Well,
Remember that,
no,
but that's exactly
I
how...
do remember that. And it's, besides changing the name, let people let other assets there besides just a jail, patrol assets, people in neighborhood
position against it, you know, basically saying we don't want a jail in our neighborhood. Changed the name and everybody wanted it.
534.
Fortunately, the police department came and part of that complex too.
Yeah.
Myself.
No, detox is there. Dispatch is there.
Holiday. And we'll be out with the mail here.
You know, Jolly Man Jean, the property manager that you and I worked with.
Yeah, sure.
Quality guy.
Yes.
Quality guy.
Yep.
We really miss him. We really miss him.
Yeah. Who was there before Jolly? Was it McKenna or was he elections?
No, he was property man. He was elections and taxation. Elections, taxation. Lou McKenna.
Yeah.
Taxation.
534, we're code 4.
I don't know about who was there. Property management.
It was a big name. I can't remember now, but it's been a while. But
We're on case. We're on case. This is like the dividing line between Harding and Johnson, right? I don't know if case was the line, but there was a line, right?
There was a line. It's pretty close. I don't know if it's case today, but it's either way, it's very close.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know what it is today.
Same with...
now they kind of let you go wherever you want to go, right?
Yeah, I think you can. When I was growing up, there was definitely a line. There was a line for Hazel Park Junior High and Mounds Park Junior High. I mean, there was a line for everything where you could go.
Yeah. Hey Siri, call Mike Whistler.
Maybe a Hill Murray game tonight.
No, I think he's here tonight. But you're right. If he was the Hill Murray game,
I think there is. Because, you know,
he might be coming after.
My nephew's, Joe Miller's nephew's on that team. Tom Miller.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Are you working or are you at hockey?
Yep. No, I'm working. I didn't go to hockey for one split second.
All right. Well, you're live on patrol, so don't go into any more detail. Yeah. Hey,
right.
what's our status down there?
Well, I'm happy to report that we've got probably a dozen or 15 men already in our care and resting comfortably, and there's probably maybe 10 or perhaps a dozen females already in our lobby as well.
Okay, so 30 basically, 25, 30 total.
Yeah. Yep.
25,
Yep.
30 total. All right, keep me posted on the numbers.
Yeah, very good. I thought maybe you'd been made aware of this little one-off that we're dealing with, and I can get you on the side with that. But anyway, yeah, I'm around all night.
Do you need to talk to me about it, or you got it covered?
Nope, got it covered.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, call me anytime.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I didn't know he was on duty tonight. Thought he had hockey, but I must have been wrong. Mistaken.
What day of the week is it? Thursday?
Thursday.
They play on Thursday? Don't they usually play Fridays?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Friday? I don't know if it's...
Well, they play Saturdays a lot.
Yeah, sometimes Saturdays.
Saturdays a lot.
But either Fridays or Saturdays.
And Mike's son is on the team, the younger one. And they're pretty good this year. The old Phelan corridor, which wasn't around years ago.
Yeah, I know. Randy Kelly built this.
Yeah.
Or deserves the credit for it. I mean, obviously Dan Bostrom was pushing behind the scenes, but in terms of the funding, ultimately, Senator Randy Kelly.
Yeah.
Which is also why at the end of this corridor, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is there.
Yeah. That was a good asset.
Yep. Side.
The planning for this really went on for probably 10 years.
All the land acquisition.
Yeah, it went on a long
The Port
time.
Authority was involved too.
They were.
Yeah, huge. But it took some money, so it had some environmental cleanup dollars too, you know, for all along that way. It's
Well, I was online, I thought he was talking to females.
yeah.
Yeah, there was some polluted soil for sure. That's why you don't see any residential, because the requirements are totally different on polluted soil if it's for residential use versus commercial. Now, Chinu said there were some homeless tents not too far from the village here.
There are.
Oh, you did know, you are aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
what's it called? Heritage Park? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds
Heritage
right.
Park.
Yep.
But
You go one more block down, you'll see Tim Jones where he grew up.
okay. But can I cut all the way over then, or not? Because I want to go this way.
Yeah, yeah, you better go this way
I'm gonna
then.
take you by the Christmas lights.
On York.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm an East Sider, so yeah, no, that's really nice.
Before you take your wife to dinner,
Yeah, we'll come by.
come by the lights.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. Been to Jerry's many times, produce.
Yep. Rhodey still over here?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, Rhodey.
I think he's on Kennard Court coming up.
Just a great friend.
He's
good
on the
person.
corner house.
Yeah, we won't tell exactly where he's at because
Okay.
knowing Rhodey, he's probably got enemies.
Yeah, he's been there a long time now.
Actually, Rhodey doesn't have any enemies. Such a
Probably
nice,
not.
such a kind person. We love you, Bill Rhodey.
Yeah, Rhodey and Moose have been at Strauss for a lot of years now.
All right, so if you're wondering, 1500 block of York is where the Christmas lights are. And I'm sure we're going to get a music strike. I'm gonna go over here first so we can see it. York and Hazelwood is the start of it. If you want to drive through, you can tune your radio, which we're gonna do. Tune our radio to the frequency.
I didn't know you could do that.
And I think it's the Schultz family. They do an amazing job of choreographing lights and music with both sides of the street.
Yeah. Between White Bear and Johnson Parkway and just north of 7th Street.
That isn't the right channel, but it's like 98. We're gonna see it.
They go 12 plays, 70 yards. They use up 5 minutes and 24 seconds on.
Why is my phone talking to me? There we go. All right.
Think you have it?
So what's it say over there? 91.5, right?
Yeah, we're not there yet.
91.5.
369.
Okay. This is cool. We are going to get a strike. We do not own the music.
But it's at 995 McLean Avenue.
Public display.
Color is PLC towing.
Oh, there we go.
We're going to wait till we get one of my favorite songs.
Threats that in some may harm the driver is currently trying
But
to
you
get
can see how
inside
the barking of the dogs is tied to the trees. I think the dog's singing Dashing Through the Snow. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah.
That's what the dog is singing.
Never heard this song before either, with a dog barking. I haven't. It's new.
Might not even be copyright protected, huh?
I don't think so.
We're going to wait a little bit.
It's not on Cool 108, I know that.
They got some great music here, though. We just got to...
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Just one back to Fire 3007 Fairview Avenue. And the coil in the oven up to parking. Zero back.
So,
Nothing 218 Girl Street.
the side. Put the side on. We're gonna wait for one more song. Hope we get one of my favorites. Low battery. $1,500 block of York, folks. Well, here's the guy that runs it.
Where at?
Right here.
Beautiful display.
How's it going? Good to see you again. Thanks for everything. Appreciate you. Bob Fletcher and Dino Guerin. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
I didn't recognize that window up there. You got something going up there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Santa going up there.
Yeah, very nice.
Yep.
Very good.
All right.
You do a nice job. Thank
We'll
you.
give you a little publicity. So tell us about the food show for the donations. What kind of stuff do you like?
Non-perishable, canned goods, box stuff, things like that. The food shelves can't take any kind of like refrigerated stuff.
Okay, non-perishable stuff.
So, yep. So all.
And you got it right in front of your house here. You got a cooler that they can drop it off in.
That is correct. Yep. And we do cash donations too, and 100% of the money goes to the food
Where
shelf.
cash? Drop it in there, or
There's a cash box right here by the food box.
by the food cash box there.
Oh, okay.
All right, thank you. It's great. It's a great display.
Thanks. Yeah. You came out early this year. You're not going to.
Oh, we'll be out again.
You're not
Yeah,
going to catch Hallelujah this week. So.
I'm not.
Not this week.
How come? Is it just too early?
Not in the rotation this week. So
Okay.
that is one of our favorites. So
Yeah. When is it? What?
That usually comes Christmas week or towards Christmas, more
All right.
closer to Christmas.
Thank you for telling me that. I didn't know what the schedule was.
Yep. So
I'll be back.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Christmas to me. I see the children play outside like angels in the snow. Well, Mom and Daddy share a kiss.
Cool, huh?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I can't imagine being
all
candy all
these
this.
simple
All the
things.
work and everything else.
Baby, alright. That's Christmas to me.
1500 block of York. Stop by, drive by, bring a couple cans, throw them in the container. It's all good.
I don't think I could do it. I normally buy a string of lights and one goes out, they all go out.
Well, that's the way they were made in 1965. That's called a series circuit versus a parallel circuit. Did you pay attention in your electrical class at Harding?
Yeah, I'm guessing not. Since I'm normally outside freezing, taking one bulb at a time and putting it in the little sockets until they all light up.
Here's the most important thing. Do not let your wife try to take the lights down by herself. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
I don't think.
Because if she slips, the ladder falls out from beneath her. It's not going to be good.
I concur.
Okay?
I don't.
Of course, that happened to my wife.
Oh, it did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Good tip then.
Yeah, no, it was a little sand on the driveway, and she decided to go up there on a nice spring day or get those lights off the garage. She didn't need me. She just needed somebody to hold the ladder.
Yeah.
So she fell.
first.
She broke a couple feet. Wasn't good.
No,
Wasn't good.
terrible.
Wasn't good. We went to the doctor. To the doctor. Doctor said, Mrs. Fletcher, looks like you fell on all fours because your hands were.
Oh.
You fell on all fours when you fell off the ladder. I said, Doctor. I handed him the mirror. I said, maybe you should give her this mirror. I said, don't you think it looks like she fell on all fives?
7-4, you copy too.
Something on the forehead.
She had a 1 inch bump on her forehead.
Oh boy.
7-4, copy. Hey, they'll take you one more. There's one that's flat on foot. It's close to over there, so if you come out on over there.
Have you seen our new fire station?
Copy
It's right
that.
up here on Ross, and
I have seen it, but
it's going up as we speak.
It's
It's just on the other side where the Viaduct used to be, the Viaduct bar, and the brand new station going in there.
You know, your old fire station at Flanders and 7th is where our police precinct was in the 70s.
That's what you said. I know that station well. That was old 24s. Yeah.
Remember
it's
Mike's bar here?
Yeah, no, that was Eric's. Oh, Mike Kalis. Yeah,
Kalis'
yeah,
bar,
Michael's. Yes,
Michael's.
of course. Yeah, I just had dinner with him at Mancini's.
Oh, you did. He's retired from the housing inspection.
With Tom Arnold and Rich Singer House. They were all, they worked the homeless encampments, those guys did.
Really?
Big Mike looked good, too.
Yeah, good, great guy.
Yeah, he is.
Am I getting close to your fire station?
Yeah, you'll see it. It's right here to the left, but we can go down a block and come down Ross, and then you'll see the old one.
Is that it there? On the back of it or not? No. Is it a big thing?
Yeah. If you take a left here, to the right, you're going to see old Station 7 that they're in right now, but they're going to end up bulldozing that and going right across the street to this new station. It's coming up. Port Authority bought this
So this
property.
is the old station?
Yeah, and they're still in there.
Okay.
And they're going to move across the street to right here.
Oh, yeah, this is a beautiful setting.
It's going to be a nice...
Good for you guys.
Brand new building.
Jeez, that's a monster, huh?
It is.
Holy mac! How many rigs are you gonna have in there?
3 rigs. There'll be a medic rig, an engine, and a ladder truck.
Okay.
There's gonna be some outreach stuff going on in there, and
okay. Yeah, that's good. You're gonna have some community space.
Yeah.
And stuff? Okay. Yeah, that's good. You're gonna have some community space.
Yeah.
And stuff?
Yeah. We're gonna have some
Good
community.
for you.
The fire chief. Butch
Where
Yanks.
are we gonna cook Dennis Kessler's crappies?
He worked at this station for a lot of years.
A little bit. He's mostly on 7th, down on West 7th, but yeah, he did.
Yeah,
work
at
here.
Tens. That's a restaurant now. You're right.
Yeah. But
Yeah, he was quite the character, Dennis. Yeah, he was my captain many years ago. I worked on Ladder 24 with him on White Bear and Suburban.
Two subject,
I think they referred to us as the Dream Team. I don't know if that was a compliment or not.
Well, it's hard for me to imagine that unless Kessler came up with that term.
Yeah, he was a character. He's missed by a lot of people. Yeah.
His son, what did his son ended up going into? Oh, I forget what it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Dennis Jr.
He left so long ago, Dennis, and then of course he passed away some years back, so I kind of lost track. For years, the retired guys always came by the fire stations for coffee and dinner, and so you knew what was going on. It was just a tradition, but not so much anymore. They don't do that.
Shelby 23.
Yeah.
21-6 to investigate.
Yep.
2165, go ahead.
Well, it's been fun having you. Appreciate that. I'm going to head back and call it a night for a while. I might go back out with the CAT team, but I'm going to go check on how the homeless unsheltered housing is coming. We had 90 people there last night, folks. We had 75 men, 15 women, 1 dog,
1 cat,
1 kitty.
Yeah.
1 kitty.
That dog was so happy to be in that warm lobby. He was sleeping. I went over. Of course, I love dogs. He mentioned it earlier, and I went and got an extra sandwich and a bottle of water for the puppy.
Yeah, well, good for you. There was some dog food down there. We had a bag.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
We
had a bowl and a bag of dog full of water.
I had a bowl for it and gave it water. And in fact, that was on my list this morning. I Forgot to do it. I was going to bring some dog food in.
I think that dog and the owner might be back tonight. I want to get a picture of the dog.
Yeah.
What was the dog's name? Do you remember?
I don't. She said it was 8 years old and it really has a tough time in the cold. That the cold's very tough on the dog at 8, you know, which I don't think is that old, but for some dogs it is, you know, depending on the breed.
Yeah.
We've been lucky. We've had 2 dogs that have lived 18 years before we had to put down, but we walk them a lot and take good care of them. That they love to walk dogs.
Sheriff 2, go for it. 213, you can cancel.
Copy, restoring 213, you can clear. 200, copy, here.
Yeah, I think that was tucked back in here someplace. Now, it might have been even a library here years ago, too.
Full shot of the skyline. You know, before we go there, I'm going to swing through this encampment.
Yeah.
Down here off of 7th and Payne.
I was born in this hospital, this building, when it was St. John's Hospital.
Really?
Yeah. Metro U was a hospital. St. John's,
That's
as
right,
you well know.
they moved out there, yeah.
I was born there.
Yep.
Might be a few years ago.
Yep. I was born over in Midway Hospital.
Yeah.
Other side of town.
Transport. When I came on the fire department, we had Midway, we had Bethesda, St. John's, we had Mounds Park at hospital, where the Marion Care Center is.
Yeah, you're right.
There was a lot of hospitals, and they kind
That's
of.
where the officer got shot.
Yeah.
Mounds Park years ago. I was working security there.
Yeah, Maplewood officer was working off duty, I believe. I've taken the sheriff's electric bikes down here with Stu Besslin from the fire department and scoped things out many times.
Yeah.
And you can get turned around down here too, by the way.
Well, if we go left, we go through Sweet Hollow.
Okay.
That goes under the bridge, the Sweet Hollow. This is the right, this goes underneath 94 Bridge and then over where the 3rd Street Bridge was. We have 3 large encampments. Why don't you let this person know that we have shelter at the law enforcement center.
Hey, you know we have shelter at the law enforcement center. Pardon? Okay.
Do you need a ride?
You're okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, have a good day. She didn't really want any help. I think she had a bottle of liquor with her.
Yeah.
She didn't seem to want to be bothered, so.
So you can kind of imagine this encampment. You see it there?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize it was that big at all.
It's huge.
No, I did not realize it was that big.
It's huge, and there's fire going and propane and
wow, a lot going on there.
Yep.
Was there a produce place down here years ago?
Oh, yeah, there's still, there was. But
yeah, there's a lot more now. I didn't realize it was this big.
Yeah, it's a little bit of encampment here, right?
Yeah.
But most of these people do not want to come to the law enforcement center.
No, that's what I've been told.
But Rev has been bringing them some supplies. See that fire over there?
Yeah, I can smell it. There's a few fires going on, which is good. It'll keep them warm.
We won't spend too much time down here, but they've all been told they can come.
Yeah, they've got some.
That's a big fire over there.
It is.
Better for a real fire than a propane.
They're probably cleaning up an awful lot of brush and debris around here. Yeah, fire's the way to go. I mean, as long as it doesn't spread. As a district chief, we used to get calls in certain parks that there were, people having fires down in the woods and that. And in the wintertime, I never put them out. And the homeowners would be mad at me sometimes, like, "Why didn't you put it out?" I said, "Well, it's 10 below zero, and they're homeless, and it's cold.
And it's safer than a propane tank. That's
so
the other thing.
I didn't put them out, which it was against the city code at the time. You're supposed to put them out. It's not a recreational fire. or for cooking, but times have changed.
Well, nobody's found the solution yet. Sadly, folks, the state of Minnesota had a $19 billion, what do you call that? Overage?
Surplus. And now we have a deficit.
$19 billion surplus.
1 to 3 on 2.
And we weren't able to solve many of them.
No, they spent it all. Now we have a deficit projected.
Oh, I think it's 600 million surplus projected, but it doesn't. I mean, the thing is, long run, there's a deficit because of all the new spending that they put in place.
Sure.
So you got to keep up with the taxation has to keep up with the new spending. But here's the thing: $19 billion in a surplus, and we couldn't fix or address. You could have built an entire town for the unsheltered with that money, right?
Well, yeah, it was a lot of money. They could have done a lot of great things.
$1 billion.
But you know, the COVID relief money too, I don't know what you call it, American Rescue dollars or something, but a lot of that got wasted. Could have been put to good use.
Totally wasted.
Law enforcement didn't really get any of that money.
Well, public safety, yeah.
We couldn't even buy winter boots for the patrol officers with that money. There was so many restrictions they had.
Oh, you are correct.
And they still have some of that money. I think they lose it fairly soon, but they still have some.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wasn't happy with some of the decisions about the COVID money, but that's a separate issue from the state not addressing the unsheltered homeless issue. But you know, unless you see and deal with people on a daily basis that are in this situation, they don't get on the radar.
You know, I'm really not that surprised. I remember last year when we were out picking up folks and there was a blizzard and it was bad.
Yeah.
The MTC buses decided to not run that night. Of all nights, it's the only night that we really have to have them.
Yeah.
And they decided not to run. And so there were people that got off a bus at 7 o'clock and thinking at 8:15 they're going to catch another transfer, and that bus never came.
Right. Well, thanks for riding with me. I know it's a little longer than you anticipated.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's fun to talk about some of the old days. We got a lot in common from years back that we haven't really talked about much.
You're a good person, Dino. Appreciate you.
I think that subway is still open, by the way. I was going to mention.
It might be, but
it's not.
It's closing. Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because you'll see.
It's closing. Well, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Because you'll see there's a separate building.
Yeah. Well, you may be right.
Yeah. See, they do the wood, the frames, and then this building is part of.
Okay.
This is where the showers are going to be and stuff right
in
here.
there.
I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's almost. I said a skyway,
there's
but
a connection. Yeah.
it's just a hallway, but still, it's nice.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. It's a good location. Location. They can walk up, see right there, our law enforcement center tower is right square in front of us. Oh, sorry. There, now you can see it. Right square in front of us. You know that swish of that tower there, that's very important to the design of this building. You ever notice that this
no.
There's a slight curve. This one right here, it's a tall tower.
Yeah.
There's a slight curve there. It's called the swish.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Old architects wanted that swish in there.
They're pretty famous, yeah. I know who they are.
Yeah.
They were in Lowertown for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're there anymore, though.
Well, Backseaters, we're going to sign off for a while. I might be back later here. But Dino, I want to thank you and for joining us for a while.
Yeah, I had fun. Thank you for having me.
And all you got to do when you say goodbye is hit those 2 red buttons, those 2 red squares.
Okay.
And then we'll be off. So,
yes, sir. Are we signing off then?
yeah, we're signing off.
All right. Good night, folks. Thanks for having me.